Hello, good evening to all my dear students. Today I'll discuss about the Biomedical Digital Signal Processing paper of end semester examination 2020 and today I'll be discussing about the short questions of 2020 which will be helpful for 2022 ESE 2022 for Assam State Polytechnic examination. Okay, so first of all, the paper contained 56 marks due to the COVID, but this year the paper will consist of 70 marks, the 25 marks for short questions plus the remaining 45 will be for your patent. So it will be explanation. Mainly there will be 5 questions of 5 into 9 marks. So all of you know about that. So this will be part A. Part A will contain this 25 marks. So to get this 25 marks, you have to study the previous year's paper as well as you have to go through the concept very clearly and then only you can get a good marks out of the part A. So now let us now discuss about the short questions. The first, fill in the blank. Here it is saying a Fourier transform is used to transform the time domain signal into domain signal. So Fourier transform is basically a mathematical tool which is used to convert or transform a time domain signal into its frequency domain signal. Okay, fine. So the answer is frequency. So for Fourier transform, x of t is your time domain signal, then it is converted into x of j omega, which is basically your frequency domain signal. Fine. So this is x of j omega is your frequency domain signal in case of Fourier transform, and this x of t is nothing but time domain signal. So in case of Fourier transform, we are basically converting or transforming x of t, that means time domain signal, into the frequency domain signal. Second one, the interface between an analog signal and a digital signal processor is converter. So basically, analog signal, if you want to process an analog signal, you have to convert the analog signal into a digital form. If you want to convert it to a digital form, then only after converting into digital form, then only you'll be able to use the DSP, digital signal processor. Okay, so that is why we need an interface which is called nothing but the A to D converter. Fine. So the interface between an analog signal and digital signal processor is nothing but the A to D converter. Now the third question, the full form of FIR and IR filter. You all know that FIR and IR two types of digital filter which we have studied in our syllabus. So this FIR means finite impulse response. So first one is finite impulse response. And the second one is infinite impulse response. Filter. Okay, this is FIR and IR filter. So decimation is a process in which the sampling rate is, this is important, reduced. Okay, decimation means, you know, the decimation process. Basically we were discussing about FFT. In FFT you got two type of algorithm, basically DIT FFT and DIF FFT, right? And DIF FFT. In these two type of FFT, we are discussing about the decimation in time and decimation in frequency. Basically, decimation means changing the bit reversal or the bit reverse order, and we are basically dividing the sequence into odd and even part. You already have known this x of 0, so then your x of 1 for x of 2 and then x of 3. If this is a 4-point DFT, then it will be x of 0, then x of 2, then x of 1, then x of 3. So you can see here this x of 0 and x of 2 are basically even component, and x of 1 and x of 3 is odd component. So now we can see that in a decimation is a process in which the sampling rate is reduced. And the last one, for true and false, the Schweitzer filter is also called maximally flat magnitude filter. Okay, remember about this question, the CY-set filter is not called as a maximally flat magnitude filter, but maximally flat magnitude filter is called the Butterworth filter. Okay, so remember the Butterworth filter. So the first question is false. So it has to be, if you want the maximally flat magnitude filter, so it will be your Butterworth filter. Fine, Butterworth filter. Butterworth filter. Okay, because Butterworth filter is designed to have as flat as frequency response as flat as possible in the pass band. Okay, so now the second question for true and false is DIT algorithm divides the frequency to even and odd samples. This is true because I have already discussed DIT algorithm, that is nothing but decimation time. So decimation means dividing a sequence into odd and even. You already have known this one, this odd and even part. Okay, so this is again true. Next, the Cooley-Tukey algorithm of FFT is defined in Rowley algorithm. So Cooley-Tukey, there is an algorithm for FFT computation, that is divide and conquer. It is not rule. Okay, fine. Divide and conquer. So the name of the algorithm is divide and conquer, not divide and rule. So again, this is your false. This answer is your false. Okay. Next is your correct option. So MCQ, we'll be discussing the remaining MCQs. First one, rule of factor is, rule of factor means the bandwidth occupied beyond the Nyquist bandwidth of a filter. Basically, the bandwidth which is occupied beyond the Nyquist bandwidth of a filter is called rule of factor. So like if this is your filter, so like this is your pass band. Okay, this is your pass band, and this part is a stop band. So more the rule of factor, it will be more sharp. Okay, for rule of factor like this one and this one, so this is more sharp. That means it is coming very rapid. The change is very rapid. This is very fast. But for this one, change is slow. For this one, again more rapid. So for this case, the rule of factor, that means you have to know that the rule of factor is the bandwidth occupied beyond the Nyquist bandwidth of a filter. Okay. Then the next question is, FFT may be used to calculate. Okay. You already have known that FFT algorithm we have used to calculate the DFT basically, and since we can calculate the DFT, so obviously we can also calculate the IDFT as well. So inverse discrete Fourier transform. So mainly FFT is nothing but it is a mathematical operation which is used to reduce the number of computations or the stages which are used to solve a DFT. So basically we will be using to solve FFT, will be used to solve DFT as well as the IDFT. So the answer will be 1 and 2. Okay, 1 and 2 will be the correct. Then the telegraph signals are example of digital signal. Now this part is all about the explanation. I already have gone through the explanation. So till for 2020 paper, up to this we're going to conclude. In the next video, I'll be discussing about 2021 paper. And to download this paper, I'll share it in the description of the video. So till then, go through the paper, go through the concept, and thank you so much for giving your time. And please do not forget to share and like and subscribe the channel, and also share the videos so that the other can also get the benefit. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.